Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I want to show you how I apply my foundation, how you can apply a foundation if you need a very long lasting, flawless, glowy foundation. So I'm going to tell you the products that I'm using, the steps that I'm taking to come to this end result. I have no eyebrows done, I have no eye makeup on, I have no lipstick on. This is just simply and easy my foundation, and after you're done with your foundation you can do whatever you want with your eyes. So if you're interested in seeing how to create the perfect long-lasting foundation, keep watching and you will know. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my skin with a moisturizer. I'm going to use it's called Hydro Active Moisturizer. I don't know if you can see it. It's from Dr. Grundl. It's a German brand, but you can order this on Amazon here in the US. So I'm going to take some of the moisturizer out, just dot it all over my face, a little bit on my neck, and then just rub it in. This step is really important because if your face doesn't have enough moisture, what is it going to do when you apply the foundation? It's just going to suck up all the product. And so it's really important that you use a good moisturizer. Okay. I will also use my moisturizer as a primer. I use primers too. But sometimes for me, I just feel it's enough just using my moisturizer, and I like just using my moisturizer. So I know a lot of people say primer is a have to. I say if you have a good moisturizer, it's not, but it all depends on your skin and what you prefer and how you would like your skin to look when you're done. So I'm just going to stay with my moisturizer. Okay, next step, just going to get my hair out of my face so I can see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so I'm starting off by using a cream concealer under my eye to cover my dark under eye circles. I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay. This is probably totally out of focus because it's so tiny. But I'll put all the products in the box below so you can check out what products I was using. So I'm going to pick up some product with a concealer brush, and then I'm going to apply it right on the dark spots under my eye. Now I'm just going to use my finger and kind of dab it in. Don't press too hard when you're doing this because you don't want to take off all the product you just put on. So as next step, I'm going to apply my foundation. I'll put my foundation in the box below because I'm actually mixing 3 different foundations and a green adjuster together to get my perfect tone, but you can just use your foundation that fits your skin. What I like to recommend people, and I know a lot of makeup artists will not tell you to do that, but that's just my opinion. A lot of people, they use the foundation that fits their skin tone in their face. But a lot of times the face is brighter than your neck. And if you apply your foundation in the same color than your face, it will look kind of weird because it all has the same color because of the foundation in first place, even though if you use bronzer and everything after that, but it's brighter than your neck. And that can look very weird sometimes. Exactly the same than if you use too dark foundation. So I like to match my foundation kind of to my neck, that it just fits together. So I have my foundation here. I am going to apply my foundation first with my fingers, and then I'm going to blend it with my beauty blender. If you use a beauty blender, it's very, very important that you use it damp. That means you put it under the water, you kind of squeeze it under the water until you will see it gets a little bigger and it's getting very soft. And then you just press all the water out. Oops, there was still a little water in. And that's how you want to use your beauty blender. So I am going to apply my foundation. On my face. And a little bit here on my neck. I'm going to blend this out. Okay, so what I like to do now is not to take my beauty blender and just go in. First, I tap it into the foundation so that there's already product on the beauty blender, and then start to blend my foundation into my skin. Just really softly kind of pressing the foundation on your skin with the beauty blender. Feels really good. A lot of people have the cheaper versions of a beauty blender, but I highly recommend you to invest in an original beauty blender. You will see the difference. It's day and night. Make sure you go under your nose right here. That's a place where people a lot of time forget that they have to apply foundation there too. Okay. And then I just go up and down here and blend my foundation out. Okay, so next step. We have applied foundation all over our face and a little down the neck. So my next step is the step that is going to help us make the foundation last very long. If you don't want your foundation to last very long, or it's not a special thing that you're going to, or a night out or something, you just want to go out really quick for a coffee and come back home, you might not want to do this. But if you still want your makeup, your foundation to be perfect, long lasting and flawless, you should probably do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking a powder. You can take a translucent powder, or if you're a little tanned, you can also use a powder that has a little color already. So the powder I'm going to use is going to be the Beautyyyys Banana Luxury Powder. I really like, there we go. I can't use this powder when I start to get more pale, but if I'm a little tanned, I really like to use this. Oh, oops, that was a little bit too much. So I put a little bit on my hand. And what I'm going to do now, using the beauty blender again, I'm picking up some of that powder with my beauty blender, but before I'm going to put it on my face, I'm going to put it a little bit on the back of my hand to make sure it's not too much powder on it. And then I just start to apply that powder all over my face. But you don't want to use too much powder on that. It's just a really light layer of powder. I also put it under my eyes, but just a really tiny amount of it. And remember, you don't have to do this. It's optional. And I usually don't put it on my neck. I just put it on my face. Okay? Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and apply my contour. For my contour, I'm going to use the Tarte, it's so tiny you can see it. It's a Tarte Amazonian Clay concealer. It's the same that I used earlier on my eyes. So I'm going to take my product and put it on the back of my hand first. And then with a concealer brush, I'm going to pick up some product. So now where do I want to have my contour? What I want to do is I want to lift my cheekbones a little bit, make this part here of my face look a little slimmer. I want to look, if you apply foundation, you have the same color all over your face. This is not how a face naturally looks. A face is always a little bit darker here, normally a little bit on the nose, and on here on the cheeks, because that's where the sun reaches your face first. The sun comes on your face, and the points that are higher are the points that the sun's getting first. And as far as you're upright on this earth, the sun is getting first your forehead and your nose. But anyways, I'm not going to do this on my nose, but on my forehead. So I'm going to use the contour and just go along my hairline. And what I like to do, but that's optional too, I like to go here in this part and make this go back a little bit too. The thing, what color does is, once we want this to look a little more tan, but at the same time, dark makes go back, bright colors make come up front. So if you want something to go more back, you apply a dark color. Okay, and next I'm going to apply my contour from here, where my hair begins to grow here, and I'm going to go towards the corner of my mouth. Looks funny, doesn't it? What you can do to make your lips come a little bit more out, to make them a little fuller, is you can apply a little bit of that dark contour right under your lip here. And then right over your lip here. Can you see that the lip is already coming a little bit more out? Anyways, so another part where I like to apply it is on my jawline to make my neck, as you can see when I turn it aside, my neck is not going pretty much back here. So to make the illusion of having a little bit more going in here, I don't know how to call this, I'm going to apply the dark here too. And it makes your face look a little slimmer. I have an oval to round face, but I like my face to look a little slimmer, although I like my face shape. Okay, so as next step, before I apply the highlight, I know you've probably seen a lot of people apply both together, and you can do that, but I found out just recently that I like to apply the contour first and do the highlight and my under eye concealing after that. So I'm going to take my beauty blender with the side that I haven't, like this is the side that I use the powder with, so I'm using the other side. And I'm just starting to tap this contour in. And then here, you don't want to go any lower with your contour than you already are. So you're blending on point. And the only thing that we're going to do is we're going to blend it a little higher and make the line blend really nice, but we're not going to take the color any lower. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the beauty blender in the color of my contour like I did it with the foundation and go over it if I feel like my beauty blender is taking the contour color off of my face. And you just go with the clean edge, kind of clean out that line. Okay, other side. And then of course, blending your jawline. Is it a jawline? Yeah. And I'm going to blend this a little down. I already went outside with still having that line on. People were like, hey, you have a kind of like there's a dark line. I'm like, oh, really? Oops. And then of course you're going to blend this under your lip and over your lip. Okay, so next step will be highlighting. Highlighting means bringing forth all the parts you want to kind of bring forth. Another thing that a bright color does is if you put it right next to a darker color, it makes the darker color look even deeper. So first of all, what I want to do is give my under eye the perfect coverage by applying some of this liquid concealer on my under eye. So actually the concealer that I'm using here is the L'Oreal Paris Perfect Match in shade Vanilla. Doesn't smell like vanilla, but it's shade vanilla. Okay, so I'm going to apply it on my under eye, and I'm going to bring it a little outside. I dot it a little more than I'm like making strokes, because this could mess up my foundation under that. So you just want to be very gentle when you apply this. You don't need to be afraid to like damage something or whatever, but okay. So, and then I like to have a little highlight on my chin, a little bit on my forehead, and then I'm not really contouring my nose because I actually don't have a problem with the way my nose looks, and I don't want it to be super skinny, but I like to have like an accent on the top of my nose coming a little down, and I'll also put later a little highlighter on that. That's what I really like. So I'm going to apply some on my nose. So what I'm going to do also to make my contour look even more precise is I'm going to take this and go right under the dark spot. Make a line and then bring it a little bit down. The same on the other side. So you can see a lot of product that will last for a long time, and you will look good whole day, whole night. Yep, damp beauty blender. Okay, so I'm going to start with my eyes to blend. So I'm just going with my beauty blender, very gentle, and dab the concealer in. I can kind of feel it's taking there's still a lot of product on it, but I don't want to take it to take any off. So I put a little bit on my hand and dab my beauty blender into it, and then go with this over. And the nice thing about the beauty blender, but I mean the cheap one, I like the cheaper ones, have that too, is like the form. You can go in here very nice. There's smaller ones too that should be very good for eyes, but I am totally fine with just that one. So then I'm going to blend that on my nose. Just kind of not really go to the left or to the right, just go over it. Then on my chin. And then finally here on the sides. You just go over it first. But then you can see there's still a very harsh line. But no worries, we're going to blend this out. So then you take the other side of the Beauty Blender that's totally clean, no product on it, and you just kind of go over that harsh line. And the same thing, we use that side exactly for, we use that side too for making sure that those two colors are blended. So I kind of go over the sides where the dark contour and the highlight meet, just to make sure everything is blended and nice. I can just go over everything with it a little bit. So as you can see, my face already looks, although it's more product, more natural than if I just have foundation on, because your face has never just the same color. So like with every product, what you should know, one thing that you should know is a creamy or a liquid product always holds better if you put a powder over it. It's kind of like setting it. It's setting it. So what we want to do is we want to set that whole face to make sure it stays nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. It's translucent light. Put a little bit on my hand. And guess what I'm using to apply it? My Beauty Blender. Take a little of the product. And then I start setting my under eyes with that. Oh my gosh, something's going on in this house. Okay, after I set my under eyes, what I'm going to do with this color is I'm also going to go on the brighter color of concealer that I applied here under my chin. And then I take the rest of the powder that I have in my hand and I just go over my forehead. So, but what I don't like to do is to take it over that part here if I'm a little tanned like now. So I'm going to use a little bit more of that banana powder that is already a little colored. Pick up some of that with my Beauty Blender and apply this over that color, because you don't want to bring that color down to being a lot brighter with your powder, because powder will always make it a little brighter. And I also go over my forehead and over my nose with it. And then I'm going to go with the rest product also on the lower part of my cheeks. So next step is going to be apply bronzer. The bronzer, we'll apply the bronzer just exactly, not exactly everywhere, but we're kind of going to apply it over the points where we put the contour on, because bronzer is to make the spots a little darker, that the sun would kiss you, that sun kiss look. So where you're going to apply it is going to be your forehead. You can swipe it over the nose a little bit. I don't like to do that, but some people do. And on your cheekbone. Here's the thing. There is a difference between bronzing and contouring. You don't take the bronzer and just put it here in this area, how a lot of people learn that. because this is for the contour. This is not for the bronzer. The bronzer goes a little more on the cheek, so you go from the highest point of your cheek here towards the face. You don't go too high, but you also don't go in this low line here. And then you go straight on your hairline. Okay, so I applied already some of my brush. I'm using a bronzer brush. This brush is very old. I like it a lot, and I don't even know where it's from. I know I bought it in Germany, and it's a nice brush, but I can't tell you what brand. So I'm going to apply the product, kind of dab it off, and then I'm going to apply it right in my hairline. Here on my cheeks. One of the important things that you powdered before is this is not going to ruin your foundation. If you would not have powdered your face before, like if you would not have set your foundation, this would just mess up your whole foundation that you just applied. So good that you did. So, and then I go a little bit under my jawline with that product. And then I'm going to go ahead, I didn't say what I'm using. I'm using the Hoola bronzer, the Benefit Hoola bronzer, the best bronzer in the whole wide world. Next, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. It's very old. I have it for a long time already, and there's not a lot left in the dark colors, but I'm going to use this color here. So I'm going to pick up some more of that. I know a lot of people use an extra brush for that. I'm using the same brush that I used the same brush that I use for the bronzer. And this is where you can do this. So you can see kind of your start point, and then you go a little in here to make your cheekbones look a little higher and your face a little slimmer. So, but you never go all the way in here. So this goes under the bronzer. And then also a little down here, and I also go just over the rest a little bit too. Yep, next step, highlighter. I just found this new trick to apply my highlighter just recent. And I don't know where I saw this, if it was Makeup by Mario or somebody else, I don't remember. Anyways, this is my brush for applying highlighter that I use. It's the Morphe M501. And I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. And I'm going to use the shade Butterscotch. Perfect for my skin. Perfect for warm skin tones. So I'm going to pick a little bit up with my brush. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a makeup setting spray. I'm having this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and I'm going to spray it on the highlighter. And then apply it. So this is for my face shape. Some people go a little lower here with the highlighter, but because of my face shape and because I'm tending to have unclean skin here, what I'm doing with that highlighter is make my unclean skin come forth. So I do not want to apply my highlighter here at all. It just looks disgusting on me. So where I want to have it is like, do you see that where it's already a little lighter because I applied my concealer here? Here is where I want to have my highlight. Where do I want to have my highlight too is right over my eyebrows and a little bit on my chin and on my nose to make my whole face be a little more glowy. So I'm starting here. I waited, I think, a little bit too long. I was talking so much, so it wasn't really wet anymore, just parts of it. So I'm going to pick up a little more. spray it. And apply it. Just applying it here. Don't go in the middle. It's just like here where the highest point of your eyebrow is. That's where I start. Oops. Then I go higher. Then I pick up a little more. Spray it. And apply it on my chin. For now, I'm going to use an eyeshadow brush. I can't find my other brush. So this would be the Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil. So I'm going to pick up some product. Spray it, and then I'm going to apply it right in the middle of my nose. Pretty glowy, huh? Looks like it won't be straight, but in my mirror it is. And then you can apply a little bit here. I don't know what that is called in English, those two things here over your lip. It makes them come forth a little more, and then I just dab it in with my finger. Okay, so my next step, guess what? Beauty blender. Going to apply a little bit of the setting spray on my beauty blender, and then I'm going to tap the highlighter in with this. That makes it just look like it's melting into my face. Next, I'm going to apply a little blush. I'm not always applying blush, to be really honest. For today, I think... Okay, one thing with blush that is important is that it matches your lipstick. Right now, I don't have any lipstick on, so I'm just going to pick something, or I think what I'm going to put on me for later. But if you, for example, have a pinky blush, and then you have a total orange lipstick, you'll look like a clown. You want to make sure that those two colors come from the same color family. Pink, pink, red, red, orange, orange. It makes your face just look so much more natural. So I think I'm just going to use very natural blush, like that one here, that just melts a little bit with my skin color. And I might mix it a little bit with this one here. They look very colorful and bright, but they're actually not that much pigmented, so it doesn't matter that they look like that. They're going to look nice on my skin. So where you want to apply is a blush is the apples of your cheek. Where are the apples of your cheek for everybody that doesn't know? If you laugh, this here are the apples of your cheeks. So I'm just going to dab this in here really soft. You almost can't see it, but it makes me look healthy and shiny. So last step for my foundation routine. For the perfect foundation, you're going to use a setting spray. I'm going to use the Morphe that I used for the highlighter, and you just spray it over your face. It doesn't matter if it gets a little wet. That's okay, it will dry down, but I feel like it's kind of like sucking the foundation to be like a puzzle that goes in together with your skin. I don't know if that made sense what I just said, but anyways, yeah. This is my foundation. This is how I do my foundation. Show it to you from the side. The other side. Yep, and that's it. So now you saw how I apply my foundation. I hope this was helping you and you can try this by yourself at home. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, click the subscribe button down below and leave me a comment and tell me if that helped you, or if you tried that and it turned out really good, or if you have any more questions. Okay, so see you next time. Bye.